Welcome back, everyone, to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. So we're coming off of yet another victory with a race that had a lot going on for us, a lot of obstacles that we had to figure out how to work our way through. The strategy didn't end up being too bad. It was a simple three-stop strategy, and we had drivers that were capable of keeping enough speed in order to get us the victory. So now we're coming up on Munich. Munich is a place for race 5 that we've had a lot of success at in the past, and I'm hoping for similar things here in the future. But before we get there, let's go ahead and move through some of our emails. And pit crew did great. So now we got listening to offers from Tang. We sort of knew that was coming. We've had that before with another driver, but unfortunately, let's see, which has better drivers? Let's see what happens if I hit car number 2. So, all right, we get a little bit of a morale boost. It didn't seem to hurt car 1 too bad. So, all right, we sacrificed a little morale on car 1 to get a little bit of help on car 2. All right, so next in line, let's look at our pit crew. And let's start off seeing if there's anybody that we would consider hiring. Okay. Nobody really stands out here as just really awesome. So let's do the remove the fatigued crew. And boy, that really crushes our refueling. Let's see. Let's swap out. Swap those two out. And let's see. Anybody else that we have down here that is in good shape? Well, none of these guys are really bad on stamina. Okay, so we've only got really one person who is less than max on their stamina. Okay, so that's good. Granted, our pit stops won't be as good since we've got some of our better guys on the bench this time. But overall, I think we're in pretty good shape. And nobody here is really good at refueling. And part fixes is just not what we're going to worry about. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward and get those repairs done on the car. There we go. So now we can jump back in and see exactly what we need to do for this next race. All right, so we've got currently on reliability side, and you can see this one's going to be done well ahead of the race. So that's going to be very good for us. A very nice jump for particularly car 2 on this. And all right, let's see what we've got. Let's look at car 2. And reliability, they're not in bad shape as far as that goes, but you know, they've got a few issues here and there. Namely, they had some issues with what was it, the suspension this last time, which should not have been a thing. Maybe it wasn't the suspension. In fact, I'm hoping it wasn't the suspension. Okay, so we'll let this go for now as is, and then we'll sort of reassess things. We know we got a new part coming, which is a new brake package. And that new brake package should be somewhere in this neighborhood. I forget exactly how strong it was, but we are about to find out. There we go. So brake build is finished. Yeah, 747. So basically the same as what we currently have on the brakes. But of course, we now need to get it as close. Let's see what happens if we do that. For some reason, it wants to move all of my staff. Okay, we're still in good shape. Still in good shape. I like that quite a bit. Okay, that's perfect. And let's see, anything else that we need to remove from the performance side of things? No, we got a lot of things we want to work on for performance. But I think we're going to be in really good shape as things currently stand. And at some point in this season, we'll be able to move all of our staff over and just work on performance. but of course we're not quite ready for that just yet. We got some sponsorship deals going on. Let's see what we want to do as far as new parts. Now, part of me, as I've mentioned before, says that, hey, we're in great shape on the performance of our car, so let's save some money and not do any more parts. But that's part of the fun of it, is developing new parts, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time worrying about that. All right, let's see. We've got the suspension at 545. Let's see what we can get there. We can go there. And okay, yeah, there's really nothing for us up there. All right, so suspensions, we're probably done for the year unless I decide at some point that we want to develop something for next year, because I don't think we're going to win the championship. Okay, so that just kind of is what it is. What about the nose, actually? 226 on that. And let's see what we've got. We got 3 options. Of course, we can go there, and then we can do this plus 40. Of course, that's only during the race, but and the minus 10% reliability shouldn't really be a big deal. Okay, I'm not really liking any of these so far. Let's look at brake packages. I mean, we're really good in the brake department right now, so I hesitate to do any more work there. Let's see about the gearbox. So we're at 557 right now. And okay, I like this one quite a bit. And this one is also good, actually. Okay, that'll get us up to 592. And let's see what kind of great packages we've got. All right, that one's not bad. I know it takes 20 away from the max, but that's not the end of the world. We like the plus 40. That's pretty good. So let's keep going in that direction. But yeah, it's looking like we're getting closer and closer to being done with new parts this season, regardless of what our particular strategy is. All right, but let's make sure we want everything on reliability to get these 2 parts ready to go. Okay, and the sponsorship we'll deal with here momentarily as well. Oh, and I saw somebody has the flu. Let's go ahead and stop. All right, so we got flu. Oh, really? Just really? God, we cannot get these guys well. All right, Sophia, how much longer does she have? Her dodgy neck. 2 more weeks. Oh, that's right on the edge. And then Melina has 2 weeks. Okay, everybody's got the same thing. So now we've got a different set of problems this next time. All right, money saving techniques. Wow, we've seen this before. This seems to be a very common one on this playthrough. So we'll accept the gift, 500,000 this time, and we'll see if we get another debuff for her coming up shortly. All right, looks like we got another vote coming. All right, let's run through. Ooh, it's going to be on the fuel tank size. All right, scouting facility, yes, is a very good idea. Something let's see, we got Tang is, oh wow, a nice increase on his marketability. Very good. And he's recovered from his flu. Okay, that is awesome. That is really good. And I was not expecting that to be the case. All right, so we got some new offers. Let's see, 6th, 8th, or 10th. We're not going to be choosing any of these. So what do we have up front money? There we go. $1 million up front. We'll take that. Yeah, that is not bad at all. All right, let's get into this vote, and I'm actually not going to be voting on this one. I'm going to save ours for hopefully when we get to join the A-class division. So we're going to abstain from this, and it's approved. Okay. So what that's going to do is the fuel tank will hold less than it currently does. So they're trying to increase the number of pit stops that you make during the race. All right, there we go. So we've got reliability work is complete. That is awesome. We're almost ready for our new part. It'll be done in, a little over a day. So these guys will spend a little bit of time, maybe, because you got the car repair to think about after the race as well. So really not any use in swapping these guys out. We'll leave everything as is. And let's go ahead and prepare for this race. All right, this time I am going to choose first. Now this is taking a huge gamble, because this means first in qualifying and first in the race. So there's really no margin for error there. But I want to do this every once in a while. I'd prefer not to do it because this gives us such a better margin of error. But let's go ahead and do this every so often. And this is a track we've had great success at. So let's give it a shot. If we're going to do it anywhere, this is a great place to do it. So our tire selection, we'll go back to our 3, 6, and 6. Oops. 3, 6, and 6. Because I think that's going to be our best bet. And let's look at these new parts. We've got some shiny new parts to put on these cars. So we're going to be moving up. And a nice jump. Not a whole lot for car 1. I mean, basically no jump for them. But a nice little jump here for car number 2. And more reliability. So now we look at moving car number 2 up here as well. And they're going from 124 to 162. Now we'll be swapping these parts out in the future. But for now, let's just leave them as is. We got both of these are very close to being identical. So no issues there. Okay, so far so good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I don't believe we should have any reliability issues. At least I hope not. Because I do not enjoy those. So all of that is out of the way. Let's head to the race. All right, so practice and qualifying are now done, and exactly what I feared would happen happened in qualifying. We were a good 3 to 4 tenths off of the pole, and I think we're starting 3rd and 5th. So regardless, we did not reach our sponsorship objective. That's what I thought. I mean, again, I do think we're going to have a shot at winning this race, but it is so difficult to pick the objective of first. So that did indeed backfire on me a little bit. But hey, we're not in any sort of money trouble, so I'm not going to worry a whole lot about it. Let's go ahead and start out after I get a quick save in here. Let's start out by taking a look at the knowledge bonuses. We got race trim bonuses at level 2, and then we've got our pit stop refueling, and then the engine mode bonuses. Both of the setups were perfectly fine. The medium tires set up very well with the max fuel, so we'll be starting on those, but this is likely going to be a 3-stop strategy. In fact, I'm almost positive it's going to be a 3-stop strategy for both cars, simply because Sophia is still under the weather, so she is not going to be able to do anything close to an hour, I don't think. So we'll change up the strategy as needed to take care of that. But I'm hoping it runs a lot like it did in the last race. As always, we're going to start out pushing and try to get the tire temps up where we want them. And then we'll do what we need to do from there. Okay, there you can see our starting positions. And looks like the leaders are going soft tires. So they're kind of giving you some insight into how they plan on running this race. But I still think we're in good shape. Now, one thing I do need to point out is if you notice, car 2 is starting ahead of car 1. So we'll see how all of that goes. And hopefully we don't lose a lot of positions here at the beginning, because it can be very difficult to get them back. All right, so far so good. Not exactly what we're looking for. We'd like to make up some spots, but right now that's pretty good for a couple of laps into the race. Okay, and so far tire heat is coming up to where we need it. We'll try to make sure it doesn't get overheated though. But right now looking very good. Okay, so we'll be looking to maximize the time in this first stint. 45 minutes would be the minimum, but I'm looking for more than that. I'm looking for 50, 55 minutes because that gives us a buffer whenever we get to our injured driver. Because when I put her in, when I put Sophia in, she's probably only going to be able to go 30, 35 minutes. So I need to build up a little bit of a buffer of extra time from the other drivers. All right, so right now, things are off to a good start, I would have to say. Again, we've not exactly where we qualify, but right on the money as far as not losing a lot of spots. Okay, losing a lot of tire temperature. Oh, and we've got driver mistakes. That is never a good thing. Okay, no weather issues. So we're going to continue to run our race and try to maximize and get everything we can out of each stint. And then we'll worry about the running positions really when we get toward the end of the race, when we've made our final pit stop and we start to see how everybody's strategy is going to play out. All right, right now we're able to spend a lot of time pushing, which can have negative effects on both the tires and the driver. Let's go ahead and back off to neutral. All right, wow, fastest lap from car number 2. Now we find ourselves right up here in 3rd and 4th, and we are running best of those who are not on the soft tires. So we're doing good. We are on the mediums, which slots us in as far as speed right behind the soft tires. So far, so good. Okay, we're now roughly 30 minutes into the stint. And you can see we are running low on stamina on car number 2. So I'm going to back off from pushing with them. Okay, and in the meantime, we're going to continue to push with car number 1. I'm really loving the idea of having both cars running this well in the race. Because that tells me we've got some speed. We should. I mean, we've got the best car on the grid, or very close to it. I haven't checked in a couple of races. But we've got great equipment, and we should be able to continue to do well. All right, we're about to run out of stamina, and unfortunately, we are nowhere near where we need to be on car 2. So this is not a good start for car 2 at all. Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and queue up that pit stop. Again, this is not what I wanted. Let's go ahead and we'll continue with this. It wasn't really the tires that wore out. Okay, let's go ahead and fill it up once again, and I'm actually going to change our strategy a little bit. Let's go ahead and go into full overtake mode for car 2. Okay, so first pit stop earlier than I had anticipated. Now let's focus on car number 1. Oh wow, we have moved up to the lead. So those on the soft tires, they are they've played their hand. They've made it last a pretty good ways, actually. So not bad at all. All right, we're not going to push a whole lot here with car number 2, but I do want to push a little bit. Okay, we're now at 46 minutes, so this is where I was looking to start our pit stop. Okay, let's go ahead and back off. Just going to have to let those tire temps go down lower. All right, we're now at 50 minutes. Okay, so looking good. Again, the tires are almost done. And we'll come in next time by. I actually hit it. They might try to duck into the pits this time. So if they do, then they do. That's not, definitely not the end of the world. All right, so tire choice. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and use the soft tires with her this time. And we'll go ahead and, oof, that is, let's go down to about there. It's still going to be more than she needs. Let's see, she should need somewhere around 33 or so. Okay, yeah, that's in the ballpark. So that is close enough for me. Okay, so we've run the tires off of it, and we've run down fairly low on the stamina. So this is where I want to be. Okay, let's, if we can, send our focus back over to car number 2. Pit stop looks good on car number 1. No issues, and we're back off and running. All right, so car 1 leapfrogs car 2 in all of this. And of course, we know why that is. That they have quicker pit stops, for one thing, because of the refueling taking less time. All right, so now we've got our weakest driver as far as stamina in there right now and fitness. So we need her to go and do as best she possibly can. And also, it's worth pointing out, there is one team that appears that they may attempt to do this on 2 stops. All right, I saw a crash, but no. All right, no safety car. All right, there we go. First pit stops are in for everybody. And yes, we are laying down some pretty good laps right now compared to those around us. Not bad. Okay, let's go ahead and push a little bit here with Tang. Again, we kind of need him to last somewhere around 50 minutes minimum, I would think here. Minimum. That would be great if he could. All right, so we are closing in on the lead right now in car number 1. All right, let's see what Tang can get done, because he is in 4th, so not bad at all for car 2. We stand to gain quite a bit of points if we can make this 3-stop strategy work, and I'm really hoping that we can. Okay, that's probably enough pushing. We need to save his stamina. He's at 31 minutes in. Okay, on the other hand, we are looking good. 21 minutes in for car number 1, and things appear to be going quite nicely. Okay, tire wear looks good on both cars for where we are. So tires are really not the limiting factor overall. I know we ran them right down to the cords on car number 1, but that was pushing it quite far. And besides, that's kind of the plan. We want to use everything we've got, at least until the tires fall off a cliff anyway. Okay, so it'll be time for a pit stop coming up very soon for car number 2, which is unfortunate because I really need him to go as far as possible. Try to make up some of that time we didn't get on the first stint. In the meanwhile, I am very pleased with the time we're getting out of Sophia here. We're 31 minutes in. Tire wear is looking good. We're going to get about 35 minutes out of this stint for her. And you can see her stamina is going to run out just about the time that her tires do. So very happy with where we are there. You can see we're now up into 1st and 2nd. And it's about time for another pit stop. Trying to hold out as long as I can, but I think we've about used it up. Let's go ahead and come in for our pit stop. And wow. Let's change the tires. I really can't afford to do that. I got to go mediums for her too and try to get as much as I can. So we're going to put about 34 on her. That should be a pretty good amount because based on her stamina, that is, I think that's going to be a pretty good amount. So we're going to just get all we can and then work it from there. All right, there we go. I need that pit stop to hurry up because I need to get in there with car 1. All right, we're going to go ahead and queue up that pit stop. The other guys should be gone in time. This will put Petra in the car. And we need her on the medium tire and full of fuel. There we go. All right, perfect timing on that. One car leaves the pits just as the next one is coming in. Okay, pit stop looks good. No errors, and we're off. Okay, excellent. Very good. So we got the time when we need it out of those soft tires. That was a very good stint. So now I really like where we are going forward. So here we're not going to be pushing with car 2. We can't really afford it. We need to make up a little bit of time. We need to make one more pit stop for the remainder of this race, and yeah, it's going to be sort of touch and go. I'm going to maybe push a little bit to try to keep some heat in the tires, but not a lot. It's just going to have to be what it is for the most part. All right, for Petra, let's go ahead and push with her, try to get some speed and some heat in those tires. Okay, we're focusing on car 2 because I'm trying to keep an eye on her and how she is doing. I would really prefer, there we go, that's enough pushing. I would really prefer for her to be able to go as long as possible, 30-35 minutes minimum. And that still may not be enough to make this work. Okay, wow. The temps go right back down there. And we're only 20 minutes into this stint, and she is running low on stamina. All right, but the good news is we are in great shape as far as speed if we can just hang in there. All right, let's back off the pushing a little bit with Petra because, again, we need these tires to last pretty good. And if we can get a final stint of somewhere in the neighborhood of about 40 minutes, then that would be perfect. All right, so we're running low on stamina. And so let's have her push a little bit. Yeah, she's not going to go anywhere near long enough. She's going to get maybe 30 minutes out of this stint. So we're looking at an extra pit stop. And it's just going to have to be the way it is. So let's go ahead and come back in. We're going to have to put Mike in there. Look at his driver form, 0. Wow. All right, and let's see. We've got one set of soft tires. Let's go ahead and use it for him. Maybe we can get about 35 minutes out of that, and then we'll go another set of mediums. There, let's see. So he can get... Let's go somewhere in that range. Okay, strategy. There we go. All right, let's bump this back down to high for when I put this fuel in. Oh, we got a driver mistake for Petra and a drive-through penalty. Dadgummit. We just cannot catch a break right now. Our drivers are giving us all sorts of issues as we currently stand. So we didn't lose, well, there's no nice way to put it. We lost too much there, but it could have been worse. We'll put it that way. Okay, so Ham is now going to attempt to get a fairly long stint out of this. We'll see how much we can get out of these tires, but the whole idea here is to get as much speed as possible because we're going to have to make an extra pit stop with car number 2. Now on car 1, it is all about driving fast. Just go as hard as you can because we're going to be putting Lee back in the car, and you can see he's going to have plenty of stamina there at the end. And we need somewhere around, again, about 40 minutes at the most for him, and that we're looking good for that. All right, I let car number 2's tire temps get down too low, so we're going to bring those back up and then try to steady them out a little bit. But in the meantime, Petra is on a mission. She is doing great right now. And you can see we're way down here. All right, so we'll prepare for our final pit stop of about 30 minutes or so. Okay, let's go to neutral there. All right, let's see how we're doing. So Tang is not going to be at full strength when he gets back in the car. Okay, let's get our final pit stop up. Let's see, 33 minutes. And there we go, medium tires. Unfortunately, we don't have any more soft tires. But we need about 30 minutes. Which is about what you could use for these. So we're going to say about 30. We'll go 39 on the fuel, and hopefully we'll be able to turn the engine up to full red at some point, because I think this is going to be way too much fuel. All right, pit stop underway. Okay, everything looking good, no mistakes, and we're out and running. And again, we're going to be pushing hard because that's what we're going to need in order to get to the end. Same thing over here on car 2. We're going to be pressing hard and giving it everything we've got. Now, I don't know that these guys ahead are going to make it to the end. I definitely don't think these soft tires are going to make it very much longer. But the hard tires, it's going to be close. I don't think they're going to be able to make it, which would put us in great shape. All right, so it's almost time to take Ham back out. In fact, let's go ahead and have him come in next time by. And we'll put another set of mediums on. And 24 minutes, we really only need... Let's go there and then go full red engine mode. Let's go back to that. Okay, I see pit stops for a couple of the cars, and they're going to put on soft tires, and they're going to be coming hard. All right, we got to calm down a little bit on that. Let's go heavy on the engine mode right now. Let's see where the engine is. 63%. Yeah, we're in perfectly good shape there. All right, so we find ourselves in the lead, which is exactly where we want to be. Unfortunately, car number 2 with that extra pit stop is not looking good. We'll hope for some more pit stops to move them up the spots. Oh, we've got a retirement there. So that'll move us up one more spot. I see repairs in the pits. Okay, let's go back to pushing, because you can see the soft tires are coming. The soft tires are definitely coming. All right, so we're going to push as hard as we can with both cars here and see if we can't preserve this win and get some points with car number 2. We are right on the edge of it right now. But what is most concerning to me right now is the lead, because those guys are coming. Okay, they've backed off a little bit now, but again, that could just be traffic. It could be that they've worn out the tires. Okay, let's back off the tires a little bit there. Actually, on both cars, just for a moment, try to cool them down like that. And then we go right back to attacking, because we've only got a couple of minutes left, and we're within range of the car in front of us. And again, any point that you can get is a huge help. All right, not bad. Things are looking good. We still got a 4-second lead. And there we go. We bring home the victory. And yes, I believe we did get points with our second car. So very nice. Very nice. We will definitely take that. In fact, we came home 11th, which means that a couple of the A-class cars must have retired for whatever reason. We'll take it. All right, scrutineering, no issue for us. And so even with this drive-through penalty, we're still able to come away with the victory, and we got a point out of car number 2. Really got to get these drivers in shape so that we can focus on trying to make some headway with car number 2. So we pick up 1 point on the gap to the lead. So we're going to keep pressing. We're halfway through the championship at this point. And we need to be doing better with car number 2. And again, if we can get these drivers healed up so we can run 3-stop strategies with them, then we'll be in good shape. All right, so no morale issues here on car number 1. And we're definitely ready to get Sophia back to full health. And unfortunately here, Mike Ham, a 3.0 driver form, and he was the best of our drivers. So we really need him to do better as well. All right, so we lose 939, which of course is mostly because we didn't get the qualifying bonus. Otherwise, we would have been in really good shape. All right, well, there you go. Our gearbox is now built, so that didn't take a whole lot of time. So now we're back to our main menu, and yet another victory for us. Unfortunately, the key to this championship is going to be car number 2. We've got to get car number 2 to where they can run a 3-stop strategy. That will move them, should move them well up the field because we've got the speed. We've shown that with car 2. Now we just got to get them on a decent strategy. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned next time where we'll head to Rio for event number 6.